Hey everyone, welcome back. So, continuing on with this series, I wanted to cover Lucario next because Lucario is one of my favorite Pokemons, and I know a lot of people also like Lucario. There weren't a lot of Lucario cards through the years, I guess, because this is a more recent Pokemon. So, let's go over the tiers here: God tier, Great tier, OK tier, and Garbage. There's no meh or bad tier or like middle tier because actually most of Lucario cards were good, so we will go over them here. Okay, so the Lucario from Next Destinies here is it's okay card. It's an okay card. So the problem with it at its time was not enough. So the ability here is to when your opponent attacks you or damages you through damage, even if it knocked you out, you do 20 damage to them, but 2 damage counter on that Pokemon. So basically, it's a Rocky Helmet. So you can stack up this with Rocky Helmet, do 40 each time your opponent's attack. So it was fun. It was fun, but the attack is not that good. To do just 50, 50 was too low at its time. So yeah, unfortunately, didn't see play because just of the attack. Okay, so it's not garbage. It's a good card. It's like it can work, but unfortunately the damage is just too low. Okay, so the next one here is the I don't know, it's from the same set I feel like, or from a set around it. It's from Plasma, yeah, from Plasma Storm, and this is unfortunately just a vanilla, so you don't use vanilla cards because there's better. Like, yeah, you don't use vanilla cards. Let's just see the next one here, and the next one here is the one again from Plasma Storm, but this is actually a usable one. So this has an ability to basically, if it has a metal energy, it became a dual type, a fighting and a metal type Pokemon, and the attack for 60 does 30 more, 60 plus 30 more for each price card your opponent has taken. So it's not bad. Again, for fun decks, it's okay card. So the next card here is the Lucario from Call of Legends. So Lucario from Call of Legends actually, in my opinion, is a really good card because that attack to do 30 plus 20 for each Pokemon in the Lost Zone is actually pretty relevant at its time because Lost Zone was big at the time with the Celebi decks and the Mew decks. So yeah, the Prime era. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a good card. It might not saw that much of a play, but you can actually make a deck around it as a rogue deck, and it can work. It can work. And if this card existed at the Lost Thunder meta in the Sun and Moon, this was going to be played a lot actually in the Lost March deck. So yeah, I think this is a really decent card. So the next card here is the Lucario V, the one of the most recent ones. So Lucario V, it's a good card right now. It's still a good card. I would put it even in great, okay? Because the attacks are good. The 210 HP, the first attack to do 40 and 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon is not bad. And the second attack to do 180, so it can 2-hit KO the VMAXs usually. And you have the new fighting energy, so because we have the new fighting energy, it can have some tank potential. So if ever this card get a VMAX, this card would be, in my opinion, a God tier because this is one of the better regular V cards, because when we get a VMAX, we don't usually get a good V card, so that's an important thing here to know. So the next Lucario here is a one from Heart Gold Soul Silver, I think from Unleashed. So again, this is a good card, not a garbage card, because the first attack to tell you to do 30 and all of your Lucario attacks next turn does 30 more, but you will never use this except for draft maybe or something like that. So it was used at the time, but not to a competitive or a rogue deck level, okay? Because you don't want to waste a Lucario important place with a card like this, okay? So the next one here is a promo, I guess. I think it's a promo card. Yeah, it's a promo card. The one that has intuition. Yeah, this card is the ability here is to, when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you get to draw 2 cards. It's an okay card. You will not use this because it's a waste of position. You will not use a draw engine with Lucario, okay? So the attack wasn't that good because it flipped coins. No, you will not use that. So the ability by itself make the card interesting to be an okay card, okay? So the next card here is the Lucario GX. So the Lucario GX, in my opinion, easily a god tier card because this saw a play a lot in its time, and it's a top deck card at its time with Lycanroc, so the Lucario Lycanroc decks and the Lucario Buzzwole Lycanroc decks. You saw a lot of decks with this card at its time with strong energy and a lot of things at its time. This card was amazing. Also the choice band. So yeah, this card was amazing. It does a lot of good damage. The first attack is for 1 fighting energy. It does 30 and 90 more if you evolve with this turn. So basically you do 120, but with the modifiers, with something like choice band and a strong energy, that's extra 50 damage. So you basically do 170, which was enough to knock out Tapu Lele, which was a card played in every deck, and that could just make you win the game. Okay, so for 1 energy, this was amazing. And the GX attack for 2 energies, colorless, does 30 times the amount of damage counter on this. So if your opponent can't one hit KO this card, and they usually can't one hit KO this card easily, they can get destroyed so fast. So yeah, this card was amazing. Okay, easily a god tier and a top meta deck card. Okay, the next Lucario here is the Stance Lucario from Burning Shadow. So this has the same ability when we go to as the level X. So an ability is that tell you when you evolve this Pokemon onto Riolu, of course, or you evolve with this turn from one of your to your bench or any place, you get to be immune for a turn, so from attacks and stuff like that. So this card is, the ability is good. Again, the ability is good, but the attack is 120 for 3 energy. You don't use this card. Again, it's not a garbage tier, because if you play a rogue fun deck, if you play fun deck with your friends, this is actually a good card at its time. So yeah, not bad at all. So the next one here is the Lucario from Ultra Prism. So the Lucario from Ultra Prism, in my opinion, I would put it a grade, but unfortunately I can't do that, because in terms of tiers, in my opinion, this is an okay card, because it's dependent on the Garchomp deck, because this is a part of the Garchomp deck, because the ability says here, when you have a Garchomp on your field, you get to search your deck for any card. Usually you search for Rare Candy, usually you search for Cynthia. So this was an important card for the deck, but it's not. Sometimes when you play even the Garchomp deck, people sometimes drop this card. So because to play a stage 2 with a stage 1, that's gonna be clunky. So in my opinion, yeah, this is an okay card. It's definitely a good card. If you play the Garchomp deck, you play this, okay? The next one here is a promo, from what I remember. I think this is a promo, yeah, from X and Y. And it's a bad one. The first attack to flip coins until you have tails, no, and the second attack for 3 energy to do 90. So the next card here is the Lucario and Melmetal. What can I say other than it's a top deck right now in the current standard format? It's actually one of the top decks for Steel, because with all the metal support we have in the format, this card is just nuts. You can accelerate energy to it with Metal Saucer. You have an energy that lets you lose your weakness to fire, which fire is important to counter these decks. So yeah, this card is actually really good, and it's still being used to this day until the rotation, since it's released in 2019. And yeah, this is actually a top deck card. Like, it just won the Players Cup 1 from what I remember. This build in the top 2 of the Players Cup 1. So yeah, actually this card is amazing. This card is really good. The next card here is the Lucario from Unified Minds. Lucario from Unified Minds here is not a bad card to make your attack teams take 20 less damage from attacks. Your opponent's attacks is good, but will you actually play this? Unless, again, it's for fun with your friends and something like that. You will not use this card, because people tried it out when it came out, but with Giratina and Garchomp like in the same photo, but it's not worth it to play it, unfortunately. It's not that good and worth it to play it, unfortunately. Yeah, but it's not garbage. Again, it's not garbage by any means. So the next Lucario here is the one from Vivid Voltage, is the most recent one. In my opinion, this is a really, really good card, but again, it's not a great card. It doesn't see that amount of play even at Rogue, but at for fun and as a card in the text, it's a good card. So it does a 160 damage for 3 energies. That's good for a non-special mechanic Pokemon. So yeah, this is not a bad card. The next card here is the two from Fates Collide. This is the bad one from Fates Collide. It's a vanilla. Again, vanilla is bad. The one from Fates Collide that, in my opinion, actually saw a good amount of rogue play, and it was for fun. And that is the one that's Steel here, that has the attack does more for each of your opponent's difference in bench. So at its time there was Skyfield. People played the Skyfield strategy and the Mega Rayquaza deck. So it was like a good surprise to do 60 more for each difference in bench Pokemon amount. So yeah, this was actually pretty fun deck to watch. So I played it, I had fun with it. So yeah, it's actually not a really good card actually. Better than the others in my opinion. It saw a lot of play actually at its time. Not to extend to being actually super rogue actually, or top in the top tables, no, but it saw a good amount of play. So the next one here is the EX and the Mega from Furious Fists. So the Mega EX, the EX actually is the top of the great cards in my opinion. This card is absolutely great. This card saw a lot of play just for the second attack. So the second attack for 2 fighting energy, it does about 60, yeah. As well a draw 6 until you have 6 cards, so it basically was a Bianca in its effect. So people just play this because they didn't want to get N. Usually a lot of time this card will get you out of a lot of breaks. So yeah, this card saw a lot of play in the fighting decks at its time. So yeah, this is a really good card, no doubt about it. The Mega unfortunately wasn't as good because there was nothing really better than the alternative, which the best deck at its time was the Groudon deck. So why would you play this with Primal Groudon being a good deck? So yeah, unfortunately this didn't see a good amount of play. It's not a garbage card. Like for 3 inches you do 140 and you discard energy from your opponent active Pokemon. It's actually not bad. And of course you have the modifiers of Muscle Band and a card like Strong Energy, so you can do more. But yeah, you didn't see that at too much of a play, unfortunately. But this saw play as 1 or 2 of in a lot of decks. Okay. So the next card, in my opinion, is a garbage card. Unfortunately, that's from Diamond Emperor era, the Lucario C, the SP Lucario C. And unfortunately, this is a bad card. The first attack here is to do 30. The second attack to do 30, and you flip coins. Why? I don't know. This is just bad. So no one plays this. But the next SP, which is the Lucario GL, GL, right? Yeah, the mainline Lucario. This Lucario is amazing. This was played in the 2010 winning list of Lucario, the Garchomp and Luxray deck. So yeah, this was played as one of the ability here, which the main thing that this card was played for. The ability here is to make your opponent's Pokemon and your Pokemon have a ×2 weakness. So for any attacks, basically. So if your opponent have a deck that has no weaknesses against you, you make them have weaknesses. Yeah, it affects you as well, but it doesn't matter when you're gonna win the game. That's the point, okay? It's a basic Pokemon. You can slap it at any time if you want, and yeah, this is a really amazing card at its time, and it's deserving to be at the great tier. So the next one here is the one from Legend Awakes. This is again, it's a good card, better than the one from Heart Gold Soul Silver Unleashed. So this card, the first attack does 30 to one of your opponent bench Pokemon for 1 fighting energy, and the second attack for 3 energies, 2 fighting and 1 colorless does 60 plus the defending Pokemon your opponent have. Add any damage counter on it, you do 20 extra damage. So 80 wasn't bad at its time. So the next one is the middle Lucario from Platinum. So the middle Lucario from Platinum was actually pretty decent at its time. Again, it's pretty decent card, no ability, but the attacks was not bad. So the first attack does 30 and 10 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay. The second attack does 20 plus 10 for each of your benched Pokemon. So for each benched Pokemon you do more. Again, I like this type of attack, so it's a good card. So the next one here is these two together, they coincided with each other, okay? The one from Mysterious Treasure and the one from Diamond and Pearl base set. So the Lucario from Diamond and Pearl, it's decent. The first attack to do 30 for 1 and it's unaffected by resistance, okay. The second attack to do 40 and 20 to one of your opponent's benched, okay. You needed this, of course. It's better than this, of course. It's better than the foul play one. But you needed this to play something like Lucario level X. In my opinion, Lucario's level X is worse in ranking than the stance. It's the same ability, okay? But I will tell you the problem with it. It's worse than this card when it came out. The Lucario level X has the ability of stance again, but the important thing here is you need to evolve this on. So basically, on top of Lucario, so basically it's a stage 2, okay? So the idea here is to play this on your active Pokemon. You need to be in active position, not in any place like the one from Burning Shadows, okay? You need to be in the active position, the same ability but only for the active, and the attack was not good. 80 for 3, and your opponent do 30 extra during your next turn? Why? Why you punish me to do this attack? So I would say this card could be garbage, but it's not bad. For fun, it's not bad. You can actually make it work. So I would put it actually at the bottom, at the really end of the okay tier, okay? So this one was a promo from Pop series, and it's actually not the worst. It's not the worst. I would put it at the end here. First attack for 40, but you need a middle and a colorless, and during your next turn this Pokemon takes 20 less damage. And the second attack for 60, unaffected by any kind of effects your opponent have, the abilities, the resistance or weaknesses or anything. So okay, it's not it's better than these. So the last one here is the Rumble promo, and Rumble promo is vanilla card. You never use this, so yeah, I'm really impressed with Lucario cards. Most of them are really good, and yeah, garbage ones are only the vanilla ones or the flip coins ones. Other than that, they are all usually good. Not too much of a god tier, but yeah, mostly are all good. And as I said, if we get ever a VMAX, because there's a Diamond and Pearl remake this year or something, we get a VMAX for Lucario, that would be amazing. That would be really good. That's it, I guess, for this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video if you like the video, subscribe, and see you in the next one.